What's up, aliens? It's Big Al. Welcome to another dumb sports vlog. Welcome to one of the best weekends of the year. We've got Super Saturday, Sunday, wild card. I don't know. They keep adding names to it, so it's like Michael Scott's 5K rabies race for the cure fun run. We've got 6 football games with the utmost importance. We've got a ton of football. Basketball is going on. Hockey's going on. The Cleveland baseball team traded 2 of their best players to the Mets for peanuts. None of that shit matters. We've got 6 football games that are going to determine the rest of the season. 6 teams will be done for the year by Sunday night. Let's get into it. I'm so excited. Wild card weekend. Usually just 4 games. They added a playoff team this year, so we've got 6 games. It's beautiful. The math checks out. First off, we got Colts at Bills. The Bills are going to win this game by 45 points. I mean, there's everything you see coming out of the Bills this week. They're loose. They're dancing. You got Josh Allen dancing on the field to Hammer Time, Juju style, except it's his own home practice field instead of opposing players' field. We've got 30-degree weather and sunny. Now, I only did the weather for this game because I thought Buffalo, January, I was like, it's going to piss snow everywhere. That's not the case. The Colts, used to playing indoors in Indianapolis, not used to the cold. Phillip Rivers has lived in San Diego, LA for 17 years, so he's not used to playing in cold. I think I saw a stat that he was 1-5 in cold games or games under 30 degrees. There is literally nothing that points to the Colts this game. Bills by 45. They're loose. They feel good. They're one of the hottest teams right now. They're a Hail Murray away from an 8-game win streak. I keep saying Hail Murray away from an 8-game winning streak. They're super hot right now. Bills, by whatever the spread is, for sure. Rams at Seahawks. Sean McVay keeps keeping us in the dark. Keeps keeping us in the dark about who his freaking quarterback is going to be. And it's kind of pissing me off because, I mean, it's a good strategy because when you don't know if you're going to have your starting quarterback, don't let the Seahawks prepare for either Jared Goff or John Wolford, who won the game against the Cardinals last week. I don't know, Seahawks. I don't even think Jared Goff's going to go. He's like 10 days off of thumb surgery, his throwing thumb. Like, I don't think he's going to go. I think the Seahawks take it easy. They don't blow them out, but they will win this game. The Rams do have the best defense in the league, statistically, I believe. In, I think, yards or points given up, something like that. I looked at the rankings. They had the best defense. Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey's going to shut down DK Metcalf because Jalen Ramsey's been shutting down good receivers all year. He's going to follow DK around. Tyler Lockett's going to have a big game. Chris Carson will probably run the ball well. Run away from Aaron Donald. Whatever you do, run away from Aaron Donald. I think Seahawks by a touchdown probably. They're not going to do anything flashy. They're not going to try to get anybody hurt. If they got 3 more games, they're going to try to win after this one. Bucks at Washington. No one's talking about Chase Young giving the Bucks bulletin board material like freaking Juju does when he dances on logos or when he says nameless gray faces or he does all this stuff. Chase Young said, Tom Brady, I'm coming. And no one really gave a shit. By the way, Tom Brady, I'm coming. Quote, Tom Brady, I'm coming. That's what Giselle's been saying for 20 years. All right? Boom. Chase Young, I hope he gets a sack like right off the bat. I mean, I love Chase Young, but no one talks about Chase Young talking shit to the other team, but everything Juju does is freaking decimated in the media. So, whatever. I think the Bucks win. Washington, Cinderella story getting into the playoffs. Don't think they're going to do it. Tampa's D is too good. Mike Evans is probably going to come back a week after we thought he tore his ACL. Non-contact slip injury on the field where his knee was all awkward. Glad he's okay. He's dynamic in that offense. They got 3 great receivers. Bucks, they'll win this game, and then we'll see who play next week. I see them winning 2 playoff games at least, going on the NFC Championship game. Ravens at Titans. This might be the fastest game in NFL history. And by fast, I mean they're going to run the ball so goddamn much that the time is just going to dwindle down. It'll be one drive, and you'll be like, oh, crap, the first quarter's over. And second drive, you'll be like, oh, crap, it's the 2-minute warning. Someone will try to score before halftime. This game is going to go like that I think the total game from start to finish, how long is halftime? 15 minutes? The game is 60 minutes. That's 75 minutes right there. I think this game might be 90 minutes long. They're going to have to extend it with extra commercial breaks because the refs are going to look up and it's going to be the end of the first quarter. And we're like, shit, we haven't taken a commercial break. It's been one drive. The Ravens are going to hammer Lamar Jackson and Gus Edwards and whatever running back they put out there. They're going to run well because the Titans' defense sucks assholes. And then you got Derrick Henry on the other side is going to run the shit out of the ball. Now, I was wrong about this a couple weeks ago. The Titans and the Browns played, and I was like, oh, this is going to be the runoff. This is going to be the game where Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, and Derrick Henry just run all over the place. I think this is much more of a run game than Browns-Titans. Baker went off that game. Baker threw 4 touchdowns in the first half. The Ravens and Titans, they're going to run the shit out of this ball. 650 rush yards combined for them last week. I don't know who I want to take because the Ravens are one of the hottest teams in the league right now. But I don't want to bet against Derrick Henry. I think Ryan Tannehill has played better this season than Lamar Jackson, at least as a passer. For sure as a passer, maybe as an overall quarterback, it helps having a guy that rushed for 2,050 yards or whatever Derrick Henry did. What an insane stat he did. This game, expect it to be quick. Don't expect it to be 3 hours long. 2 hours max because they're going to extend it with commercial breaks. I like the Ravens. The Ravens are too hot right now. I don't want to play. As a Steelers fan, I don't want to play the Ravens right now. They're insane. If they win, I think they go to Kansas City next week. That would be an interesting game. Round 2. They got the shit kicked out of them earlier this year. Bears at Saints. I can't even believe the Bears are in the playoffs. Like, it's so random to me. Bears at Saints. The Bears might score 0 points. And they've had a good couple weeks on offense. Mitch Trubisky's looking better. Looking like the number 2 overall pick should. Matt Nagy's actually calling decent plays. But the Saints defense is good. And you look at the Saints defense and the Bears defense, kind of even. But then you look at the Saints offense and the Bears offense is drastically different. So what's going to win the game is the fact that the Saints are going to score 2-3 touchdowns, kick a couple field goals. The Bears may not score. On that defense, the Bears may not score. With how bad their offense has been, I don't see any kind of a chance for the Bears here. Be happy to have made the playoffs. Matt Nagy might have saved his job, even though making the playoffs at 8-8 isn't too confident for me. I don't know if Mitch Trubisky saves his job because they denied his 5th-year option for next year. So depending on what they do, he might be playing for his job. He might be on a different team next year. The Bears might bring in Carson Wentz. Who knows? Matthew Stafford. Who knows? All right, let's get to it. Browns and Steelers. Wore my TJ Watt jersey. All right, this is one of my favorite jerseys. My wife got it for me when he was a rookie. Before he'd even played a game, she got it for me. And now he's the Defensive Player of the Year. Or he better be. He's my Defensive Player of the Year. I took him over Myles Garrett and Xavier Howard. He's back. He was resting last week. Marquise Pouncey's back. Ben's back. Cam Hayward's back. We gave these guys a week off last weekend. Defense actually played well. Backup defense against Cleveland starting offense. I don't know. I hate this game. I talked earlier, Juju got in trouble for saying that the Browns were just nameless faces, nameless gray faces, and everyone freaked out in the media. Literally everyone. Browns players tweeting bullshit, like a bunch of stuff. I don't know, the context of the statement, you have to read it all. He kind of made it sound like this is just the next team we have to beat. This is just another team. Like, I don't care who's on the other side. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to try to beat him. That's kind of what the context of the quote was. But then the media just says, Juju calls Browns nameless gray faces. It's like, well, you try not to focus on who's on the other side, but you just focus on beating them. Like, you don't care if Peyton Manning and Marvin Harrison are on the other side, or if it's Baker Mayfield or Jarvis Landry or Nick Chubb or whoever's on defense, Myles Garrett. You just try to beat them. They're just nameless gray faces. You try not to put too much hype on someone. If you put too much hype on someone, then you're going to end up being scared of them. And so Juju's, and I feel like this is from Mike Tomlin too. I feel like Tomlin's been saying this. I actually saw something that Tomlin said this like in 2007, I think. So Tomlin's probably going through the locker room saying, listen, I don't give a shit who's on the other side. We need to bear down and we need to freaking make this happen. Nameless gray faces. It doesn't sound like, oh, there's a bunch of nobodies on the other side. It just makes it sound like we shouldn't care who's on the other side. We just need to freaking dominate this game. And it's hard to prepare for because now you got a coach who isn't coaching because of COVID. So you got some other jackass calling plays. So how do you prepare for that? You watch the other coach call plays for 16 games, and now you just got a new play caller week 1 of the playoffs. I mean, that's a good message for Mike Tomlin to send, that they're just nameless gray faces. We just got to focus on what they're doing, and we got to stop it. That's it. I don't think it was meant to be anything like, these are a bunch of nobodies over here. But the media, of course, just took the nameless gray faces and focused on that little microscopic part of the quote. But that's neither here nor there. There's a lot stacking against the Browns this game. And I'm not super confident in the Steelers in this game. Now, that's worked out for me this year. I haven't been confident in the Steelers in a lot of games this year. And when I was confident in the Steelers, the Washington week and the Buffalo week, I was like overly confident in those 2 games. And we played like shit both of those games. And we lost both of them. Probably a Cincy game too. I was like, oh, we're going to wrap the division and everything like that. When I lose faith in the Steelers, they play really well. So that's a good sign that the Steelers are going to win this game. But with how much is stacked against the Browns, and the fact that I think the NFL is partially rigged, I can see this being like a super Cinderella story for the Browns. They haven't won in Pittsburgh since 2003. All right, that's 17 years. I was 10 years old. That's insane. 17 years not winning in a stadium that you play in every single year. That's madness. All right. The Steelers were the last team to beat the Browns in the playoffs. I believe that same year in 2003 or 2002. So they don't have a coach. They don't have a starting safety. Their other starting safety is Andrew Sendejo, who's, if you follow the Cleveland Browns stuff on Twitter, because I have a lot of friends in Cleveland, they hate Andrew Sendejo. He's probably one of the worst safeties in the league. If I compared him to, or if I just rate him off of what my friends say about him on Twitter, he's the worst safety in the league. So you got that guy starting. You got your best safety is down for the week because of COVID. You got your coach that's not calling plays. There's a bunch of coaches not calling plays. Joel Batagno, whatever his name is, he's out for the week because of COVID. And that sucks because he's the longest tenured Brown, and he's going to miss the playoffs. So that kind of sucks for him. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen in this game. I'm going to take the Steelers because I love the Steelers, and TJ Watt's going to get 2 sacks. Ben was throwing the ball well his last half against Indianapolis. That's all I can hope for. I mean, we made the playoffs for the first time in 3 years. Successful season. But it's not going to be a good season or a great season until we reach the Super Bowl or win the Super Bowl. I'm not saying we're going to win the Super Bowl, but I mean, that's just the expectation in Pittsburgh. You got 6 of them. That's the expectation in New England. That's the expectation in Green Bay. Dallas, that's the expectation. If you don't have a great season unless you win the Super Bowl. So it's been a good season so far. Let's raise the bar. Let's get hot at the right time. We're not hot right now. We're not Bills hot. We're not Chiefs hot. We're not Saints hot. We're not Packers hot. If we can get hot, we can be good. All right? You don't have to be hot 2-3 games left in the regular season. Now's the time to get hot. All right? Let's win this game, move on, and let's stay hot. I think we play the Bills next week if my predictions go correctly. Bills beat Colts, and then Ravens beat the Titans. The Ravens would go to the Chiefs, and the Steelers would go to Buffalo. I'd look forward to that rematch. All right. Enjoy. 6 playoff games. I'm still quarantining, so I'm gonna be watching 6 playoff games in my guest room, enjoying every minute of football we have left. You think about it, we have 6 games this week, 4 games next week, 2 games the week after that, so 10, 12. There's 13 games left to watch this season. All right, that's not a lot. That's not a lot of football. We watched 256. I mean, I didn't watch all 256, but there were 256 games in the regular season. We got 13 games left. All right, enjoy the football. It's after football. I go back to talking about basketball, talking about NFL offseason, talk about baseball offseason. I'll bring my list back. I'll bring my snap of the week back. I'll start doing segments and stuff like that, trying to create content. But let's enjoy playoff football while it's here. 6 games this weekend. All right, have fun. Love always. Remember, Iowa sucks.